Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live Manchester United news and transfer news show, talking about all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news today. And here we go. Manchester United's first deal will be done this week. 11 million in dividends will be going into the Glazers' pocket. Isn't that lovely stuff? And I try and be positive. I try and look at the positives in every single story that we get. But it is just jarring me, this transfer window. It is just, it is hell. Fucking get De Jong done. We've been told the second big De Jong bid is going in this week. Well, we want our here we go. We don't want our here we go. The Glazers have took 11 million out in dividends, because if we can't afford De Jong, and if we can't pay that extra £11 million Barcelona want for Frenkie de Jong, then we shouldn't be taking 11 million out in dividends to people that still have the worst hair on planet Earth, despite all the money they take out in dividends. It's embarrassing, but we have got some new, fresh news. Of course, De Jong. There is a good update on De Jong. We're all fucking bored of De Jong. You know, I can give you an update on De Jong and say it's a good update, but at the end of the day, if we haven't got a here we go or bid accepted, what do you want to know? But it is a good update on De Jong. But Malacia, we got a really positive update on him for some really, really good sources. We were linked to him about 5 weeks ago. We first got linked to him by some really good sources, top tier journalists in the Netherlands linking us to him. A left back, Feyenoord, 15 million euros, which is like £12 million. We will discuss him, the news on him. It seems that once we get De Jong wrapped up, he is a target. It's been made very evidently clear that Antony, Malacia, De Jong, and Eriksen are targets. And we also want to bring in a fifth player, which would either be a centre-back or a defensive midfield partner for Frenkie de Jong. Look, Man United disappointment FC, the board of disappointment FC. I could see a transfer window of De Jong, Eriksen, Malacia, and then some panic person on deadline day. I could. And, TYRELL being let down. It does give me Marouane Fellaini Moyes vibes, but De Jong will be our upgraded Marouane Fellaini. I feel like we could, honestly, with the way this transfer window is going, we're missing out so many players. This Malcolm Eberway guy has gone to Crystal Palace, who we wanted. He's turned us down. He's fucking 18 and at Derby County. He's turned us down. Anthony, Martinez and Timber, that AJAX are like, nah, fuck off. Nunes chose Liverpool. Tchouameni chose Real Madrid. Nkunku staying at Leipzig. Ralph Rangnick's gone, so we did want Lema, but now Ralph Rangnick's gone. We're not going to get Lema, apparently. It's almost like this transfer window. Everyone's being like, fuck off, Man United. Honestly. So it's a frustrating one. And I feel like we're in the Moyes era again. This transfer window, it's not fun, but it can only get better. But I did say that last week, and we got told this week that if we want to buy Timber, Antony or Martinez, we've got to overpay massively, And the only way this transfer window can get worse is if Frenkie de Jong turns around and says, fuck off, Man United, I'm not coming. So surely it can only get better. And look, the news we're going to get into is positive. Our plan is to sign Timber and Malacia, and our hope is we'll be signing, not Timber. Well, our plan is to sign Timber, but that's gone. But our plan is to sign De Jong, followed by Malacia and all of that. So, guys, please do smash that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new and share the video. As guys said, I will be on the Ladies in Red show at 8 o'clock tonight. So after this live stream, make sure to go check out Ladies in Red and catch me on the show as well. And as Rob says, just pay the 86 million euros, no add-ons, and tell Barcelona to fuck off. Then go over and pay for Ajax players we could have had 3-4 weeks ago. Blow the budget, yay, twats FC. And Rob is just spitting the energy right now. Absolutely spitting the energy and absolutely agree on it with him on that. And Nick says Barca want a 75 million euro base fee with add-ons. New bid apparently 65 million was 20 million add-ons. United, you could take 11 million out in dividends. You can add another 10 million euros. It's only 7-8 million pounds onto the base fee, because we can take dividends out. We can do that. It's so embarrassing it's taking so long. Barca not going to blink. Just pay up. This is giving me Maguire Leicester deja vu. It took us like 9 weeks to sign Maguire. To see if we could get him for 70 million, not 80 million. After 9 weeks, we still paid 80 million for Maguire. We should have moved on and thought it's overpriced and gone for other targets, but we didn't go for other targets. We had no excuse but to just put all our money on Maguire. And look, De Jong's a much better player than Maguire. I was never the biggest fan of Maguire coming to United. I said he will improve us, and he did, whether you like it or not. He did in those 2 years under Rolly. Maybe not last season, he was crap, but the first 2 seasons he did improve our defence. But I always said with Maguire, if we can't get Maguire for 40 million, let's move on to someone else. And, you know, but with De Jong, he's such a fantastic player. But it's like with Maguire, when we went for Maguire, we spent 9 weeks trying to get Maguire. We still had to pay £80 million for him. And we didn't look at any other targets for Maguire. So when we realised we're going to have to pay 80 million for Maguire and we wasted 9 weeks on him, it's not like we could go, yeah, fuck off, that's too much, and go for another target. With Frenkie de Jong, we're doing the same. If we don't get Frenkie de Jong, we don't have another target. If we had Fabio and Ruiz lined up and we didn't think that De Jong was worth 70 million, we could go for Fabio and Ruiz. But at the end of the day, if you're a club that spent 80 million on Maguire, then I'm surprised Barcelona aren't saying we'll spend 100 million on Frenkie de Jong. Because if we can pay 80 million for Maguire, we should be paying 150 million for Frenkie de Jong because he's twice the player Maguire is. And, you know, I think it's the problem when you spent 80 million on Maguire, 50 million on Wan-Bissaka in the past, clubs are going to look at you and go, if they're not playing 70 million for De Jong, they're just playing us. If you're Barcelona, Barcelona are not stupid. Well, they are a little bit stupid in the transfer window, but they're not as stupid as Man United. And Barcelona will look at this and they'll look at this transfer situation and go, Manchester United are delaying the De Jong deal to save a couple £1 million. If Man United don't get De Jong, their fans are going to be raging because they haven't signed anyone else. All their backup players like Antony and Timber basically told them to fuck off. If they miss out on De Jong, they've basically missed out on Núñez, Antony, Timber and De Jong, which are the 4 key targets. They haven't got anyone else prepared in case they don't get De Jong. De Jong is pivotal to their plans, and Barcelona know that. Barcelona know we have to get De Jong, and we've got no excuse not to get De Jong. We'll be absolutely fucked if we don't get De Jong. And Barcelona know if we're capable of spending 80 million on Maguire, we're more than capable of spending 70 million on De Jong. So Barcelona are not going to budge. We can delay this deal all we want. We can take all the time on the world in this deal. Barcelona aren't going to budge because Barcelona are the only team that are as thick as us in the transfer window, but they're still smarter than us because they know we are mugs. Man United, when it comes to the transfer window, have mugs written on their forehead. You know, you might as well just carry a mug wherever you go, United, because you are mugs in the transfer window. And Barcelona know that. They know that, and they won't change the price for De Jong. You know, and we're not in a financial crisis. We don't need to sell to buy. The Glazers just don't want to spend money. If the Glazers can take out 11 million in dividends, I don't think we're in a crisis where we need to sell to buy. Are we? You know, we've just lost 6 players actually, Lee Grant, on a 3 transfer. We've just saved ourselves 60 million a year in wages. 60 million, yeah, plus the Glazers 11 million in dividends would get you De Jong. So if the Glazers didn't give themselves 11 million in dividends and the 60 million we're going to save a year in wages from the 6 players leaving as a free agent would cover the De Jong transfer fee. So it's not like you need to sell to buy to have De Jong. It's not like it really comes out of the budget. If you think about it from a technical way, okay, so we save 60 million a year in wages. We don't pay ourselves 11 million in dividends. De Jong, 71 million pounds. Oh, well, basically, we're not really spending any money on De Jong. But they don't think like that. They want to say this is half our transfer budget on De Jong, 2 more players max, so they can have as much money as possible for their dividends and their pockets. And it's outrageous because we spent all this time on Frenkie de Jong that Martinez has now gone from 30 to 50 million. Timber's gone from 30 to 50 million. And I don't know if he wants to come. Antony's gone up to 70 freaking million when he was 40 million. Ten Hag, you know, training, 4 days to training. 4 days to the players return to training and Ten Hag returns to the non-internationals. No one knew. Disappointing. Very disappointing. But that is Manchester United for you. Silly, silly club. Bars have a short-term financial fix and they're not a joke of a club. We aren't getting one over on them. Exactly as Andrew said. And Avram needs to buy a wig with the dividends at least, says Gaz. Thank you very much for the super chat. You lot announced Erik ten Hag in April. Let that sink in. Exactly. We've had since April to sign players. You make a very good point there. It's a nightmare of a process, guys, isn't it? It is an absolute nightmare of a process. Rob says he's annoyed with the Ajax news as well. You know, I didn't think things would get any worse in this transfer window. Then it's just come out that Ajax don't need to sell because they've sold 3 players. And, you know, can you blame Ajax? They don't need to sell as well. And reports coming in that Barcelona have rejected the latest offer as well. I mean, honestly, it's a pain. I mean, all the money they made from Ronaldo's shirt sales and they won't buy up anyone. Saeed said he's fed up of these rumours. The board could have reacted faster and could have got Antony and Martinez for Timber for 80 million. The reputation of this club has been damaged by these rich twats. And you're spot on. I agree. You're absolutely spot on. I 100% agree with you there, mate. And nearly 100 likes, as Gaz says. So please do keep hitting that like button. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers, guys. how many? We are 940 away. But if everyone who's new does subscribe, we will hopefully hit 40,000 subscribers in the next. I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks would be absolutely amazing. So do subscribe. Niall Kane says, any news on Martinez being linked? Well, United are in for him. He's our second choice centre back after Timber. He will be cheaper than Timber, but Ajax don't need to sell. So it's, I think United will work on Martinez. I think they'll work on Timber. But we're getting relegated. I don't think we're that bad, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see which is next week. Once all the players are back from holiday in training is where we really start to fall behind about signings, which is next week, as Andrew said exactly. I mean, Ten Hag, do you know what Ten Hag did? Ten Hag won the Eredivisie, and the next morning, he could have been out on the booze, having a fucking party. He won the freaking Eredivisie. The next morning, early morning Amsterdam meeting, gets Steve McLaren, Mitchell van der Gaard, Mert over, and he goes, this is what I want, this is what I want. De Jong deal, this is what I want. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, doesn't go blah, 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 but, I don't know what he said. The day after he wins the Eredivisie, as soon as Ajax's season's over, he comes over to England, he watches Crystal Palace, he has these meetings with the board, he works at Man United. The reason he came to us, he wasn't set to start work until June 27th. He wasn't set to join United until June 27th. He came in 6 weeks early. The reason Erik ten Hag came in 6 weeks early is because he knew there was a lot of work to do, and he thought, if I come in 6 weeks early, I get the board, Mercer, Arnold, the Glazers, my plan, what I want. Hopefully, by the time I come back, by June 27th, work will be done. Progress will be made. He's come back June 27th. We're still working on the it's getting closer. Yeah, we'll talk about this. But sorry, Timber's gone, Nunes gone. He came in 6 weeks early. He said, I want this, I want that, I want to get to work early, because hopefully my goal is to have everyone in by pre-season. So when I go on pre-season door, all the players that are causing dressing room issues and morale problems will be out the door. No one's out apart from Dean Henderson, who's not even 100% out yet. And then he was hoping he'd have 3-4 players in the door. So when he went into the season in August, he'd have a slight advantage because he could have worked with the new players coming in, gelled them together, and practiced his style of play with the squad that he would be using next season. So that is why Ten Hag came to the Crystal Palace game, came to Manchester 6 weeks early, and he made it clear, and we know from inside sources, he made it clear in those meetings, he wanted his business done by pre-season tour in July, and he wanted to be organised by the first week of July. He set a deadline to have everything organised for the first week of July, because he knows he's already at a disadvantage with the 5 teams finishing above us last season, and those 5 teams all strengthening and having better transfer windows than us. Newcastle up and coming, West Ham up and coming, Leicester aren't going to be in Europe. They only have the Premier League to focus on. They could be a force. The Premier League's the hardest league in the world. Aston Villa have got more ambition than us, spending more money than us for another transfer window in a row. He knows the Premier League's the hardest league in the world. He knows that this team is going to have to play a complete new style of play, a completely different way. And he knows that's a massive change from Ollie ball to Ten Hag ball. It's 10 times the change, 10 times intense. Klopp, Pep Guardiola were fantastic managers. Klopp came 7th in his first season. He's a fantastic manager, 7th, because he had such a big change to make. Pep scraped top 4 on goal difference because we bottled a game to West Ham at Upton Park, the final game. They wouldn't have got top 4 in their first season, and they got backed in the transfer window, because it's really hard, no matter the manager you are, no matter how good of a manager you are, it's really hard to completely transform a style of play and work with players that you didn't ask for. He's got to work with players that aren't made for his style of play. He's got to work with players that probably don't want to play for United or work under him. He's got to work with players that threw Mourinho, Van Gaal, Ollie and Ragnick under the bus, who did the dressing room reports. He's got to work with players that are the troublemakers. He's not allowed to get rid of a lot of them. He's allowed to bring some in, but he's not got those ones in. It's a difficult job enough as it is for Ten Hag. He's at a severe disadvantage in August anyway. But when all the clubs around us will have their new players in, City 4, Liverpool 3, Arsenal 3, Tottenham 3 players in, Chelsea, even Sterling, who don't have owners sorted before us, the clubs around us finished above us. The clubs around us are more stable. They've got a plan. There's less changes. There's less adaptation. So they're at a more advantage going into next season. And they have their players to prepare for in pre-season. So they have 3 bigger advantages than us. We don't, they have a massive advantage over us. We need top 4 next season. 2 years in Europa League, no. And we're at a severe disadvantage because we haven't brought the players in. We're absolutely throwing Ten Hag under the bus, and it's absolutely embarrassing for Man United, and they should be ashamed. But Man United Europa League as well as UCL. Man United's best bet of getting in the Champions League next season, unless we have a fucking stellar transfer window and it just takes this big uplift. Man United's best chance of top 4 next season is winning the Champions League. Not the Champions League. winning Europa League. That's our best chance of getting in the Champions League. I say top 4. Winning Europa League as well. Tottenham got top 4, and Tottenham have strengthened as well, and they've got Conte and a plan. Honestly, it's a very, very frustrating transfer window. Guys, please do hit that like button, and of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, please do subscribe. We are going to run into the ground trying to sign De Jong, and then we'll end up with no one. It feels that way. It really does feel that way. But I do actually want to get into the news because I've been blagging and going on and on and on, and I ain't done anything. So I want to get into the news as well, but Ten Hag already getting sabotaged. Poor guy has no chance. United board as well. Players don't care. I mean, look, Ten Hag's got to work with players don't care. He's got to work with a fucking dumbass board. He's just got to work with a load of crap around him. It's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. This is a new manager. This is a manager who we've given promises for. Ten Hag, come to United. We promise we've changed. Look, Woodward's gone. Judge is gone. Oh, we're going to let you veto transfers and have this power. It's all right letting him veto transfers because there's no transfers for him to veto. Killing me. Idiot board, stupid board, idiots. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about the board. Just sign someone. You can say, oh, people will say, oh, look, be patient. No club in football we've talked to De Jong for 8 weeks and still have not signed anyone, especially a club with a new manager in the midst of a rebuild that had a season as embarrassing as that. When you're a club as big as Man United and you've had a season as bad as that, and you're getting to the end of June without a signing under a new manager who specifically wanted business done early and specifically wants this player, and we're stalling to save a bit of money, and then on the same time we're stalling to save money, our owners are taking money out in dividends. We have every single reason to be annoyed at the board. People say, but you're Man United, you spend money. So does everyone around us. But their owners don't take out dividends. Their owners don't throw managers under the bus. They didn't have a season as bad as we did. Arsenal spent the most money last season. They're going to spend more money than us this season. Arsenal, the banter club, are now a more serious club than Manchester United. It's a bit embarrassing. In fact, it's really embarrassing because Arsenal are probably going to finish above us again next season. And that is embarrassing. Take a chill, Puelas. I'm trying to be chill. I'm trying to be positive and all of that. Forget De Jong, sign Neves before anyone else. We're not in for Neves. You know, they don't want Neves. I'm about to flip the table over. I am fed up. I am going crazy. This is the thing. I love going live and making YouTube videos. I love it. But when every single evening I have to say an update on De Jong, and the update is the deal's accelerated, the deal's closer, it drives you mad. The De Jong saga, it is driving me mad. I'm going to have no, I'm not going to make that joke, but I am going mad. But I want to get into the news because reportedly we could have a new CEO coming in Michael Edwards, or like director of football, kind of footballing guy for transfers. I mean, we need one. Look at what we're doing in the transfer market. We've got a really good positive news on TYRELL Malacia to Man United. We've got really good news on Frenkie de Jong, although I'd say really good news on Frenkie de Jong. I don't think any news on Frenkie de Jong is good until we hear the words done deal or here we go, honestly. But David Ornstein went on Haters TV and said he believes ERIKSEN will end up at United. He says it's likely as well. And, you know, obviously it's come out from every freaking news outlet that has contact with United that Man United want to sign Frenkie de Jong before moving on to other targets. And United faithful said to this, for a club the size of Man United generating at least 600 million a year, other signings should never depend on how much is left after signing the primary target. Embarrassing. Exactly. We apparently will not, we want Malacia, and I will talk about him. My aim is to sign him, but we will not sign him until we get Frenkie de Jong. And as United faithful said, we generate 600 million a year. We're saving 60 million a year in wages. If we could take 11 million out in dividends, I think we could spend 12 million on TYRELL Malacia and get him in and then go get De Jong. Because if we're going to spend another 2-3 weeks on De Jong, we spent 7 weeks on De Jong. The 7 weeks we spent on De Jong, Antony's price has gone up, Martinez's price has gone up, and we lost Jurriën Timber and we lost Darwin Núñez. If we would actually go, you know what, we want Frenkie de Jong, we'll still have a good 80-90 million left after we buy Frenkie de Jong. Let's spend that 80-90 million now and then get Frenkie de Jong, because we knew Frenkie de Jong was probably going to take this long. We're probably doing this on purpose to save money. We'd be a proper club. You generate 600 million a year, Man United. You don't need to sign. You don't need to sell players before you sign, and you don't need to get Frenkie de Jong before you get other targets. It's embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing as well. Fabrizio Romano spoke about the De Jong saga and said that Barcelona want to ensure that they can reinvest all the money they would receive from Manchester United for De Jong due to La Liga rules, and that's why the deal doesn't go so quickly, and that's why the two clubs are still in contract. Romano did say that it could be one of the reasons the deal is going so slow is because Barcelona want to make sure they can get the most out of the money they get for De Jong, so maybe it has to be after a certain date. I don't know as well, but and Newcastle are now interested in Eriksen as well. I wouldn't even be shocked if Eriksen went to Newcastle. With the way this transfer window is going, if a Derby County player chooses Crystal Palace over Man United, I think Eriksen is more than capable of choosing Newcastle over Man United as well. Antony's very, very keen to join Manchester United, but it will just depend on his price. Antony wants to come, but it just depends on his price. But, you know, Man United's new signings so far this window is honestly Amad Diallo, Palestri. Look, we've got two right wingers. That's the main priority. Donny, we've got a box to box. That's the new priority. Tuanzebe, that's the centre back. Honestly, we've got our striker in, Martial. We've got our right winger in, Amad Diallo. We've got our centre mid in, Donny. We've got our centre back in, Tuanzebe. United are going to be like, yeah, we technically signed 4 players. The 4 that returned from loan. They're like new signings. Honestly, I think that's what United are going to be doing next as well. Glazers out ASAP. If you are Glazers out, smash that like button as well. Johnson seems to have picked up Palace. Yeah, as well. I mean, nothing is going our way. Nothing's going away. But almost 500 watching, so do make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Please do subscribe if you are new as well. But Barca bidding for Lewandowski as well. Well, hopefully they have to sell De Jong first, but probably not. So, obviously, you probably watched my video yesterday of me being a really massive bitch and complaining about United and saying, because it came up from Mike Wade, tier 1 source via the European lad on Twitter, via Telesport, that there's a lot of interest in Martinez, Antony and Timber, especially from Manchester United, but the move for these 3 players is almost ruled out because Ajax are unlikely to sell them unless they get a big offer, because Ajax have now slapped a massive price tag of 80 million euros on Antony, 50 million euros on Martinez and 60 million euros on Timber. Timber, who we could have got for £34 million 2.5 weeks ago, is now going to cost us £50 million. Why? Because we invested all our time and energy in De Jong. And why? Because the board failed to sell him the project. Look, I'm annoyed at Louis van Gaal being spiteful and sabotaging this move. But at the end of the day, Louis van Gaal did not help the situation. But the United board had a job to sell Timber the move to United. Timber had a verbal agreement. He wanted to join Man United. Romano said Timber wants to join Man United. Timber to Man United was on the verge of happening for 32 or 34 million pounds. It was one of those. Fucking bargain. Ten Hag's number 1 centre back can also play right back, so we can sell Wan-Bissaka and have backup for Delo in case something happens to Delo. He's going to play. He's obviously going to play. His competition is Maguire, Lindelof, and a Varane that can't stay fit for more than 2 weeks, and freaking Delo. Of course he's going to play. But the board failed to convince him that he was going to have game time, so Louis van Gaal gets in his head and he stays. Imagine this. Imagine if we didn't spend all our time and energy on Frenkie de Jong and we got Timber wrapped up for 32 million. Now if we want Timber, we've got to pay 18 million more. You know, if we're spending 8 weeks on de Jong to save 11 million pounds, you know, you might, you know, have you not learnt from Timber? The longer you wait, the more the price goes up. Ten Hag's number 1 centre back, Timber. Almost unlikely to happen unless we pay ridiculous money and overpay for him, and he doesn't want to come anymore. Martinez, very unlikely to happen now unless we want to pay money for him. Antony, a deal that could happen, a deal that Antony wants to do, a deal United want to do, but now we're going to have to pay stupid money for him. And we're in a rebuild. We need 5 players, not 2 players. We can't afford to spend stupid money on people. De Jong will probably happen. Eriksen might reject us for Newcastle. You're failing, Ten Hag. This window is hell. But I do want to get into the news. I do want to get into the positives and all of that. But I mean, I'm going crazy as well. I just want the transfer window over. Honestly, deadline day, I think is going to be depression day. Deadline day is always depression day for Man United. We always feel depressed on deadline day. But I might be relieved on deadline day that it's just over. Because I'm going mad and it's only just begun as well. I value Jurriën Timber at £40 million. Thank you very much, Rob, for the super chat. Like, subscribe, and share to Alice for daily news and transfer talk right here. All the passionate fans and Sarah Hugo, big up, Alice. Really respect the what's the word? Really respect the support from you there, Rob. Thank you very much for the super chat. Please do like and subscribe if you're new. I do want to get into the Malacia news because I'm not gonna lie, I've just been blabbering on for a very long time, but again, I'm winding myself off about Man United. But I am 30 subscribers away from 39.1k. So if you are not subscribed, please do subscribe. 30 subscribers of 39.1k, costs nothing to subscribe. Upload daily content. I'll be doing watch-alongs for the pre-season games. I will be doing daily transfer news updates. So please do subscribe to stay up to date on the news. But I want to get into the news. So TYRELL Malacia. TYRELL Malacia was a fullback that we were first linked to about 5 weeks ago. He plays for Feyenoord in the Dutch league. He's a young fullback. And we obviously got linked to him from very, very reliable Dutch sources. Malik of the Mirror has said that Lyon had launched a £12 million bid for Manchester United target TYRELL Malacia, but their failure to meet the asking price means Feyenoord are open to a counter bid and they would accept in excess of £15 million. So £15 million gets us Malacia, basically. Man United and Newcastle both asked Feyenoord for their evaluation of Malacia, and they were told £15 million would be acceptable. United and Newcastle seem to be interested. The Mirror said that at the end of the day, the decision will be up to the player, whether he would want United, whether he'd want Newcastle, or whether he'd want Lyon. It was also said that Erik ten Hag wants a top-class competition for Luke Shaw. We know from a lot of other journalists that Erik ten Hag does not rate Telles. Erik ten Hag does not have Telles in his plans and would like Telles sold if he can get a left-back in. We also know that Man United cannot guarantee Brandon Williams game time. It was also said the belief in Holland is that Manchester United are concentrating on making Frenkie de Jong the first marquee signing, and that Lyon have sensed an opening for TYRELL Malacia. What has been said? Let me get into that. So basically, United want TYRELL Malacia. He's £15 million. We're interested in him. At the end of the day, Malacia will choose between United, Lyon, Newcastle, where he wants to go. But United aren't going to pursue this deal until they've got de Jong over the line. Oh, you generate £600 million. You save £60 million a year in the 6 players leaving as free agents on wages. You could take £11 million out in dividends. I'm sure you can pay £15 million for TYRELL Malacia before you get de Jong. He's a £15 million signing. We don't need to wait for us signing de Jong to see if we've got money for TYRELL Malacia. If Ten Hag wants him, you get him. Because at the end of the day, when Ten Hag returns to training on the 27th, with no one new at Manchester United, no one knew. Ten Hag was thinking, I came 6 weeks early, discussed with Murta, Arnold, what I wanted 6 weeks early, and I got nothing. It's a really embarrassing way, to disrespect your manager within his first summer. We normally give our new manager a good first summer, then we disrespect the shit out of them in the second summer. Man United haven't even waited to the second summer to embarrass Ten Hag. They've done it in the first. It's also come out from a good Dutch source, Telly at Voetbal, that Manchester United want to wrap up a deal for Frenkie de Jong before pursuing TYRELL Malacia. Another source saying that, and that United have shown interest in him. Lyon, however, are currently leading the race. So tier 1 sources, United want him, but we're not going to get him until we get TYRELL Malacia, and Lyon are leading the race. Sorry, until we get de Jong. We want Malacia, we won't get him until we get de Jong, and Lyon are leading the race. Great. Another target we want that might go because we're going to spend 7 weeks on de Jong. Ten Hag wants Malacia. We've been linked to him for 5 weeks by reliable reports. At this rate, he's going to go to Lyon because he's probably fed up of waiting for Man United to put in a bid. So we've lost Nunez, which I don't mind losing, to Liverpool because I think he was overpriced, because we're working on the de Jong deal. We lost Timber, Martinez, and Antony because we were working on the de Jong deal. And now we're going to lose Malacia because we're working on the de Jong deal. And if we lose out on ERIKSEN to maybe Newcastle, then the only signing we will get that Ten Hag wants will be Frenkie de Jong this summer, because we would have lost out on all the other names he put forward. And that, disgraceful. Disgraceful. Say what you want, it's disgraceful. It is disgraceful from the club. And you know what? I could sit here and I could rant and I could rage, but I'm not surprised. You can't be angry when you're not surprised. You're just disappointed. You're just annoyed. You just get wound up. You think this stupid club is a bit of everything, isn't it? But the Telegraph, again, another really good Dutch source, said that Lyon again are leading the race for TYRELL Malacia. We know. But Manchester United are interested and want to sign him. But first of all, they will get Frenkie de Jong, and then they will move on to other targets. Another tier 1 Dutch source saying we will not focus on other targets till Frenkie de Jong is done. Well, we spent 7 weeks on Frenkie de Jong. 7 weeks. So we've basically done nothing for 7 weeks, and we refuse to spend 7 weeks working on other targets because for some reason this club has to get de Jong before anyone else because they need to know their budget. You generate 600 million. Malacia is 15 million quid. That's the same as Dan James. But no. This club cannot buy anyone until they get Frenkie de Jong. That is why they can't buy anyone, even though they've wasted 7 weeks in what's meant to be our biggest and most crucial transfer window in years under a new manager. They can't buy anyone till they get Frenkie de Jong. Do you know what that smells of me? Do you know what that smells like to me? That smells like Man United are going, well, we don't want to spend big money this summer. So if we waste all our time on Frenkie de Jong, we'll just say there was not enough time to get our other targets in. I promise you this, United are going to pull the card of, We couldn't get all of Ten Hag's key signings because there just wasn't enough time. The De Jong deal just took up so much time that, you know, we're really sorry we couldn't deliver you a centre-back Ten Hag. All our options are gone. We didn't have enough time. All our options are gone at centre-back because we spent all that time on the De Jong deal. That's why our options are gone at centre-back. And United could be like any other competent club and work on De Jong and the centre-back deal at the same time. They chose not to because they don't want to spend the money. And they think, and United have done this on purpose, they do this every year, they waste so much time on the first signing that we have less time to get other signings in. And they like that. They'll pretend, you know, it's a stress, we've got less time. United like that because then they have an excuse to spend less money. And at the end of the day, the Glazers, they want to spend as little money as possible, but just have guaranteed top four. The Glazers liked it under Fergie. Fucking gave him fuck all, and then every now and then they gave him a good transfer window, delivered. The Glazers now want to give us no money and just see us get top four. That's all they care about. Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Make sure you hit that like button, guys, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, keep clicking that like button and subscribe time. Protest time. I don't want to protest because we've got a new manager and all of that in. I just want the Glazers out. I just want the Glazers out. I mean, smash your like if you are Glazers out as well. Talk around the Norwich training ground that they'll swap Williams for Aarons. Williams agree then. I mean, I'm not opposed to that, but does Ten Hag want Aarons, or is Aarons a right back because we failed to get who Ten Hag wants and we're going to have to go, oh, there you go, Aarons, that's a new signing. Hopefully that will please him. We talk about 80 million for Antony after saying Nunes is overpriced. That's the state of United. I mean, they're both overpriced now. Antony would have been 40, 50 million. Boom. Now it's stupid. Raw want West Ham to sign a striker. I mean, at least West Ham are signing people. West Ham will probably finish above United, Daniel. I tell you what, West Ham are a better team than Man United. We don't, you know, Brighton did us a favour. You should be in Europa and not us as well. Forget about De Jong. He doesn't want to come. De Jong has to leave Barcelona and he's chosen United. It's just United and Barcelona faffing about as well. United won't make any signings this season. The board think we have the players and a coach that can bring the best out of them. We're wrong to strengthen. We will end up sixth. Do you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is, I think the thinking of some of the people on the board. Yeah, honestly said Eric, he thinks Eriksen will come, but I think the thinking of some of the people on the board is going, well, if Ollie can get these players to finish second and Ten Hag's a great manager, surely we only need one or two players, and I think Ten Hag can get top four with his players. Our board probably think, let's just give Ten Hag, De Jong and Eriksen, and they'll probably think, do you think you can get top four with that? Because this club did get second 2 years ago. I generally think they just think, oh, I generally believe that the board just want to spend as little money as possible on Ten Hag and just see if he's got the bare minimum to scrape top four with, because that's all they care about, those funds. I tell you this, and I said this last summer, and if you go back and you watch my videos from last year of me going, oh, Ronaldo, Sancho, Varane, brilliant transfer window, we still need a CDM, but it has been a good transfer window. If you go back and watch those live streams, you'll notice that I say something. I say the thing about Man United is we've had a good transfer window this year, which means we're going to have a shit one next year. Because we seem to go from the cycle of good transfer window, shit transfer window, good transfer window, shit transfer window. And none of the good transfer windows are great transfer windows because we always miss out on the key target. But what I mean is this has been a crap transfer window. Last transfer window was good. You know, Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo was good. The transfer window before was absolutely atrocious. Cavani and Tenez, last-minute deals. Ahmed and Palestri, last-minute cash splashes that apparently aren't even in the plan next season. And Donny van de Beek that never played. You know, the summer before that, I guess it was a good transfer window in terms of spend, and they were Ollie's targets. Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, 150 million. It's a crap transfer window, but at the end of the day, it's a good transfer window. We spent 150 million. That's who Ollie wanted. He got backed. Not that I think it was a good transfer window, but in theory it was. The transfer window before that, shit transfer window. Fred, 50 million. Dalot, Lee Grant. And then the transfer window before that was good. We have this cycle of good window, shit window, good window, shit window. And by good window, I'm not saying it's a great window, but I'm just saying the manager got some sort of backing. 100 million plus spent. And he got some of his main targets in. I just feel like this is bad transfer window because they're thinking, oh, well, we had a good transfer window last year. We brought Ronaldo back last year. We can afford to faff about this transfer window. And next season, we might give him a nice transfer window if we don't get top four again and the pressure's on. That's what I feel like it's like at United. It's absolutely draining. Absolutely draining. I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. Some Aqua. I quite like him at United, Rue. The pub scene wasn't out. They were paid actors. It wasn't an act, the pub scene, mate. That was Richard Arnold being real, but, you know, I've always said with Richard Arnold, I respect that he came to speak to the fans. I respect that he voiced his opinion. but actions speak louder than words. And everyone knows that. Please keep hitting that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new. Anthony's determined to move to Manchester United this summer, says Paul Hurst. Anthony desperate for a Manchester United news. David Ornstein has also spoken about the Frenkie de Jong. We've got a David Ornstein update on Frenkie de Jong. And he said the Frenkie de Jong is a transfer that a number of people you speak to are convinced he will end up at United. Now, it may be a long and painful process for United and their fans, but it will end up like that Ten Hag will get his man. David Ornstein's basically come out and said on Haters TV 5 minutes ago, this is a recent update from David Ornstein, Tier 1 source on Frenkie de Jong, that de Jong will end up at United. David Ornstein's just come out and said Frenkie de Jong will end up at United. He said it's a long and painful process, but from everyone he's spoken to, de Jong will end up at United. And this is what it is. I think that I'm 90% on de Jong. I feel like we all know de Jong is going to happen, but it's just the pain of it being dragged on and on. And if the de Jong deal was being dragged on and on, but we were buying Timber and buying Malacia on the side, I wouldn't be so vexed. But it's the fact that we signed no one. If we've got Timber, Malacia, and ERIKSEN in already in the door, and the de Jong deal was dragging out, fine, because we told it was going to happen. It was going to end up at Man United. And David Ornstein says de Jong's going to happen. He's going to end up at Man United. But we haven't signed anyone in the meantime. We haven't done anything in the meantime, and we're still dragging on the de Jong deal. And that is my problem, and that is why the process is so long and painful. It's also come out from Record Portugal that Cristiano Ronaldo and Erik Ten Hag have already spoke several times, and Ronaldo believes in attacking football and likes the football Ten Hag wants to play. But the club's inability in the transfer market is leading Ronaldo on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Apparently, Ronaldo is getting very, very nervous about Man United and transfer window. And, you know, Ronaldo's an ambitious player, and he might sit there and think, oh, we've done nothing in the transfer window. He's got to work with the same shit players again. The manager's not been backed. He might sit there and go, fuck, well, we're in for another shit season, aren't we? Aren't we? Anthony is determined to secure a move for Man United, and Anthony is desperate for a Manchester United move as well. Greenwood's been trending on Twitter all day today. I think it's because it's court hearings today, but I don't know what the situation is on that. Don't want to talk about it, really. Don't care anymore. But that's sort of the news coming in. It's about Anthony desperate for the move. It's about Ronaldo is now questioning Man United because of the transfer window, but he does want to stay and he does like Ten Hag. And it's basically that de Jong will happen. And David Ornstein says de Jong will happen. And then it's also basically been said from Ornstein that he believes ERIKSEN will come to United. So Ornstein saying ERIKSEN and de Jong to United, that's a positive, I guess. We're going to look at this in the positive sense, but it's a very negative transfer window. And then I guess you could say Malacia is a target, but we'll probably lose him to Lyon, because if we can lose this Malcolm player to Derby, I'm pretty confident we'll probably lose Malacia to Lyon, because United just seem to lose all their targets because we are useless, absolutely useless. Neymar would laugh at Ten Hag. I wouldn't even want Neymar, but I just don't want the ego and the big name and the wages in the dressing room. And he plays on the left. We need a right winger. I mean, I wouldn't say no to Neymar, but I think we just got bigger targets. We need that freaking midfield sorted. I do not want to see Fred and Bruno play together again. Look, McTominay, if you play him advanced as an 8 next to a good CDM, there could be a good player. McTominay, he's got the right attitude, he's got the right mentality, but he was crap last season. Fred was one of our better players last season, but he was one of our better players because he played more advanced as an 8, pressing up the pitch. You put Fred deep. Bruno, I love Bruno. I think he's been one of our best players the last few years, but was crap last season. If we go into next season with Bruno, McFred as our starting midfield, Ten Hag screwed from the beginning. I believe that this year, other teams were plagued with injuries. Hopefully, they are not going into the window with this mindset. Pains me to see our City and Liverpool improving every window. City and Liverpool are miles better than us, and they're going to have a better transfer window than us. A team that's miles better than us and has been miles better than us for multiple years, having a miles better transfer window than us, means they're going to be light years ahead of us before we know it. And it's horrible because they are our rivals. It's not like it's Chelsea and Tottenham could maybe bear with it. It's City and Liverpool, our biggest rivals. Am I lagging a bit? Am I lagging a bit? My Wi-Fi is just going fuck off. So I don't know what the stream quality is like. Let me know. But make sure you do subscribe to the channel and make sure you do share the video and all of that as well. How close are we to the subscriber target, Alice? Well, let me check that now. We are, Alice Talks Football, 21 subscribers away from 39.1k. So, guys, if you are watching right now and you're not subscribed to my channel, I've got over 500 people watching. I need 21 more people to subscribe to hit 39.1k, which is my target. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I go live every single evening on the channel, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more. So if you don't want to miss out on any Manchester United news, stories, and more, please do subscribe to the channel. It will mean the world. It costs nothing to subscribe. I do live streams every evening on transfer news. I do short videos during the day talking about like Ten Hag plans, if there's any news, if Ronaldo does an interview with a player, says something, just talking and discussing that during the day. And then obviously when pre-season's back, I will be doing watch-alongs and match reactions to pre-season games, analysing the pre-season games under Ten Hag. And then when Premier League football's back, match previews, match reactions, watch-alongs, and obviously news about. So make sure you subscribe if that sounds like your thing. Daily United content, massive United fan here. Only 19 subscribers away now from 39.1k as well. Having the right mentality is not and will never be enough to play for United. Tom and I is useless. He's crap. Look, having the right mentality is the bare minimum. Having the ability and the right mentality is what we need. He's got one of the two. We've got players with the ability but not the mentality, and we have players with the mentality and not the ability. And you need both. And that is the problem at United. But if you have players with the right mentality, at least it gives a good squad morale. If you have players with the wrong mentality, it can drag other people down as well. But yeah, Man United get Sandro Martinez, De Jong, Anthony, ERIKSEN, and a CDM. I'd like that as well, mate. I would like that as well, but it just seems less and less likely to happen, unfortunately. And big up Diego saying for the best Manchester United news, do subscribe as well. Rafinha, you were not in for Rafinha. I would talk about Rafinha as a right wing option, but we're not in for him. He will go to Arsenal or Barcelona. Man United have a good squad, but they're not consistent. But under Ten Hag, he will do great. Well, I think the one thing that Ten Hag has that Ollie never had is a style of play and a plan. And I think if you have a style of play and a plan, you can build consistency. It's just, the only way Ten Hag will get consistency is if he gets the players he wants in, if he gets the players he wants out. He's allowed 2-3 seasons to build a squad and play the football he wants to play as well. So Leeds will add 20 million because it's us. Yeah, Leeds hate us. They would absolutely mug us up as well. Cholatiri's got George Mendes' agent. I do like Cholatiri. Big agent there, that. Hopefully he has big plans at United for his future. He's got a good agent in as well. George Mendes is a fantastic agent. The way he played us with Vitinha to get him that move to PSG, the way he played us with Ronaldo going to Man City so he get that move to United. George Mendes is a fucking genius. If you want an agent, you want George Mendes, I was about to say Mino Raiola is technically a good agent, as annoying as he is, but I think did Mino Raiola die, or did he not die? Because I thought he died and then he was alive. I'm gonna Google that because I swear I heard that he died and then I heard that he didn't die. Mino Raiola. No, Mino Raiola passed away 30th of April. But he look, as much as we didn't like Mino Raiola, he was very good at his job. As annoying as he was, because he definitely had a bitter thing to United, but. Yeah, George Mendes he's a top agent, isn't he? He's Ronaldo's agent. That says it all. I'm pretty sure Ronaldo brought him an island because Ronaldo liked him that much or something. I want to get into the Michael Edwards news, though, because he's on the thumbnail, and I haven't actually... why is so obsessed with Ajax and Dutch players? Well, Ten Hag worked at Ajax and he's Dutch. I don't know. But I haven't got into the Michael Edwards news, who could potentially be United's new director of football and all of that as well. And I put him in the thumbnail. I've not spoken about him, so... Let me get into the Michael Edwards news. So it's come out from Sami Mokbel of the Daily Mail, and he's a very good journalist for the Daily Mail, saying that Manchester United and Chelsea are interested in Liverpool's former transfer guru, Michael Edwards, as they look to strengthen their recruitment options. Michael Edwards, Liverpool, if you look at recent Liverpool transfers, tells you everything you need to know about Michael Edwards. Good man, good at his job. Yes, he worked at Liverpool, but not anymore. United and Chelsea are interested in Michael Edwards to be a transfer guru. He'll probably go to Chelsea because they're more ambitious and have better ideas than us. Multiple sources claim that Edwards is of interest to the new look Old Trafford regime as they want to overhaul their transfer team. With Ragnick gone, with Judge gone, with Woodward gone, we do need someone else in. Very obvious John Mercer's struggling and Richard Arnold doesn't want to do the footballing side of that job. He's made that clear. He made that clear in the interview with the fans. Michael Edwards, we're not getting Paul Mitchell. Might as well go for Michael Edwards. It remains to be seen if Michael Edwards is open to joining Man United, given his ties with arch rival Liverpool. While in addition to the club's recruitment team is not thought to be imminent, there is an acknowledgement behind the scenes Manchester United are constantly surveying football landscapes and in search for improvements. Anyone with a brain knows that United need to improve how they work on transfers and what they do behind the scenes, because we are useless in the transfer market, and we're seeing this again this window. We've spent the second most money on transfers in the last 10 years. Have we been the second best team in the last 10 years? No. Have we even been in the top 10 best teams in the last 10 years? No. Our biggest achievement is the Europa League in second place. So anyone with a brain knows we need someone like Michael Edwards in to help with transfers. So United, not desperate for this deal, not working on this deal imminent. Well, looking at what we're doing in the transfer market now and looking at how it's failing, I think this deal needs to be imminent. So that is the news on Michael Edwards. I want him. I want Paul Mitchell. I want anyone in this club that's going to do a good job, because right now, that's what the transfer market's like. It's also been said that apparently Harry Maguire is very calm and not worried about Erik ten Hag's decision of captaincy, which will be made in the coming days or weeks to come. I've always said this with captaincy: strip Maguire captaincy, give it to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's only going to be here for one more season, but if you give Ronaldo captaincy, that gives Ten Hag a year to learn his players' mentality, and then pick the next long-term captain next season. And that's what Ten Hag should be doing with captaincy, in my honest opinion, as well. 17 likes away from 300 likes, guys, so please keep hitting that like button. Let's go for 300 likes by the end of the live stream, so please do subscribe down below as well. And what about Murta Madness? Murta Madness lasted about 3 months, didn't it? And Manchester United from 200 million last week to 120 million budget again this week. No surprise there, Charlie, no surprise. Can you even be surprised? Thieving Glazers stole our money. Absolutely, absolutely. Every time Nick Pope joins Newcastle, that's just come out right now. We need to give Erik ten Hag time to implement his style. We need to give Erik ten Hag a lot of time, because if Ten Hag is not going to get the signings he wants, it's going to take him even longer to succeed. So I urge every Man United fan, do not turn on Ten Hag when things get bad. Turn on the board, not Ten Hag, because this guy is a good manager. And if this guy fails at Man United, then you know it's United, because Mourinho's not a bad manager. Failed. Did he fail? I mean, he won stuff, but he ultimately failed. I guess he didn't win a Premier League, and United expectation is win a Premier League. Van Gaal, good manager, failed. Moise, he's looking like a good manager, failed. Ragnick, balling up with Austria, failed at United. There's a pattern here. We make good managers fail. So let's not turn on Ten Hag if things get bad. Clown FC, Circus FC. We are a circus. We are a circus. You know, the amount of times I've called Man United a circus, but we are a circus. We're a circus of blah, 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 blah. But you know what? It's an insult to the circus to compare them to United, because the circus is organised. The circus have an idea of what they're going to do. The circus have a plan. The circus have a plan. They have to put on a show. You know, if you're a circus, you've got to plan a show. You've got to put on a show. You've got to recruit the right clowns. You've got to organise a show. You've got to make sure it's safe. The circus have organisation. Man United can't even organise themselves. Man United don't even know what their next move's going to be. They just know they want De Jong. The circus, they can organise stuff. So we can call United a circus, but the circus might be insulted by that. They might be going, well, we can do this. Man United can't do this. We've got some brains. We've got some sense. You never know. You never know. Guys, we're only 6 subscribers away from 39.1k, so please do subscribe if you're new. It will mean a lot as well. On the road, costs nothing to subscribe. 6 away from 39.1k as well. It's going to be fantastic to watch what Man United being a circus next see. Clown FC, keep supporting Ronaldo. Honestly, I feel like Ronaldo's the only reason Man United were worth watching towards the end of the season, honestly. Well, we did hit 300 likes, so big up everybody that hit that like button and did subscribe as well. Erik ten Hag comes from a super rich family and does not need money and has a very high standards. If this continues, I could see him walking in 2023. That's a scary point, Andrew. That's a scary point, and that would be it. If we actually had a manager that walked out on us because we treated them so poorly after we changed the structure, changed the board, Mert in, rebuild, it would just be, that would be the nail in the coffin for United. And we've had a lot of nails on the coffin, but that'd be the big nail in the coffin that would go, because it would just kill us all off as well, wouldn't it? As well. United tried playing without a midfield and defence last season and found it don't work. I mean, true, very true. But look, guys, I'm going to wrap up today's live stream. I've been live for about 50 minutes and my throat's just starting to hurt, it's starting to tire. But I will be back tomorrow with another live stream in the evening, so do make sure you're subscribed for that. There might be a video out tomorrow as well. There could be 2 uploads out tomorrow. There could be a midday video if I can get that edited in time. But there will be a live stream tomorrow night, so we'll be back tomorrow night. So do subscribe with that post notification bell on. We are 3 subscribers away from 39.1k. So if you want to subscribe quickly, be appreciated to hit the target of 39.1k. Only 3 away. So please do click that subscribe button. Please do click that like button. I really apologise if I didn't read out your live chat. I can't read out all the live chats, but if you had something to ask me, just comment it in my next live stream and hopefully I will read that. But I will see you guys tomorrow. There should be a video at 12 maybe. If not, there will be a live stream it tomorrow evening. So I will see you then. Hopefully tomorrow we can say done deal, here we go. I don't think I'll be here tomorrow saying Frenkie de Jong, finally, here we go. I think I'll be here tomorrow going, there's another positive update on de Jong, but it's not done. Hopefully we'll have a done deal tomorrow. I don't think we will, but hopefully we'll have a done deal in the next week, and surely we must in the next week. Surely we must. But yes, it's been a good live stream. Big up everybody in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time. I will be live at 8 o'clock on the Ladies in Red channel. Sophie Ladies in Red channel, 8 o'clock. Go search that on YouTube. I'll retweet it on Twitter. I will be live on there at 8 o'clock. So go check out that. That's only in 40 minutes. Ladies in Red tonight. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. See you next time.